I want to encourage somebody out there who's thinking about quitting and giving up. Somebody who has been praying for years for things to turn around. You're thinking about quitting. You're thinking about getting up. You are folded. You are caving in. The clowning was relaxation for me. I enjoyed entertaining kids. Like some people are, they unwind in different ways. Either we're going out drinking or that. I could put on clown makeup and I was relaxed. So I enjoyed doing it. It was only twice a month that I did it. This was that you sent for our Lord to draw kids to you. No, we would visit different hospitals and entertain the children there. And we didn't entertain them with handcuffs or anything like that. All we used was balloon animals and small toys and stuff like that. But we also did parades. And in the summertime, like up 4th of July, I used to be in 4 parades in one day. I've always told people when I got into clown makeup, I regressed into childhood. It was fun being a clown because you could be yourself or just let yourself go and act a fool. You could be slapstick and funny and have a good time. That's why I always enjoyed clowning. Clowning has taken a bad name. Because of what they've used in my case. Safe sharing the intimacies of their own silences. I have 4 principles posted on the board that sit in front of my class, which every student signs at the beginning of the year. Read critically, write consciously, speak clearly, tell your truth. I find myself thinking a lot about that last one. Tell your truth. And I realized that if I was going to ask my students to speak up, I was going to have to tell my truth. Be honest with them about the times where I failed to do so. So I tell them that growing up as a kid in a Catholic family in New Orleans during Lent, I was always taught that the most meaningful thing one could do was to give something up. McDonald's French fries. One year, I gave up speaking, thinking the most valuable thing I could sacrifice was my own voice, but it was like I hadn't realized that I had given that up a long time ago.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's our game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Hooked on the brothers. Yo, you're in for a treat, so hang on to your seat. Get ready for adventure and remarkable feats. You'll meet Koopas and Troopers, the princess and the others. Hanging with the plumbers, you'll be hooked.
Lauren Cohen is coming back to The Walking Dead, and she's actually coming back in season 10. It's not going to be a season 11 thing. This is just really exciting news, and I mean, it's just incredibly exciting to actually have Lauren Cohen back on The Walking Dead. And I knew if the deal was going to be done, it was going to be done later on in season 10. This is just perfect news. This is the perfect timing too. I mean, The Walking Dead has never been this exciting in a very long time, because with Rick Grimes, it was exciting when he was going to leave, but it was also, you didn't want that moment to happen because we knew Maggie was leaving. Right now, as we build throughout this season, we're going to see how Michonne leaves, which I think is connected to Rick. Rick Grimes. And we're also going to see the return of Maggie at some point in the second half, probably within those last few episodes, episode 12, 13, 14, 15. Actually, probably like 14, 15, 16, around there. So this is just gigantic news. This is massive news for Walking Dead fans. There was a bunch of stuff revealed today, Comic-Con. I'm going to do a separate video talking about all of that. I'll talk more about this Maggie thing and more to talk about more in detail. There's some stuff that Robert Kirkman said about the comic happening and all that this season. There's Paula Lazaro, who is going to be playing Juanita Sanchez, who is obviously the princess for the comics. That's likely going to happen. The second half, is she going to be introduced around the same time as Maggie? Does that hint as to why Maggie is returning? Is she from the Commonwealth for now? Has she been with Georgie this entire time? I mean, we know she has been, but has Georgie been interacting with the Commonwealth and etc.? Is all those questions we have. We're probably going to get Holder and Herschel. That's also super exciting. More stuff with Negan. Season 11 is also officially happening. We also got an update on some Rick Grimes news and all of that. We have some third show news. So yeah, anyways, expect all of that stuff happening later on today. Today's a massive day for Walking Dead fans. I didn't think it was going to be this big. I thought we would get all the footage for the third show, and that was pretty much it. Maybe an update on some type of casting or, But no, this is super huge. As for how Lord Cole is going to return, I mean, that is something that we're going to be theorizing for a while, but I just thought I would give this quick update video to you guys. She's coming back this season, not season 11. She'll be here in the later half of season 10, so yeah, John's ending, I think, was probably one of the more satisfying endings, I think, of all the characters. It's not exactly what I wanted from him, and there's certain things I hate that the show left out, but overall, it was very satisfying because it's what the specific character wanted, right? It's very sad. I don't like what happened, but he is a man of duty. He always wanted to be a ranger, right? Like, this is a callback to season 1 where he wanted to be a ranger like his Uncle Benjamin. The fact that he actually gets to be that now, I absolutely love. Honestly, like that. He belongs in the North, and he always felt that the North was his home. He's there with Ghost now. For Jon Snow, that makes a lot of sense. But for Aegon Targaryen, I do feel a little conflicted a little bit. I do think he was Ned Stark's son, no matter what. Like, obviously, like, legitimately, he's Rhaegar's son, but he was raised by Ned, right? Like, he's Ned Stark's son. And at the end of the day, he is still Jon Snow because they didn't legitimize him. He's just Jon Snow. He goes by Jon. He is still Bran, Sansa, Arya's brother. And I figured they were going to go that route with it. I didn't think they were going to actually legitimize him and make him Aegon Targaryen. That just goes against who Jon is. The issue I have with the Aegon Targaryen thing is that they sort of just ignored the fact that he is technically in line for the throne, right? Like, if they want to make everything peaceful, and Grey Worm had this whole issue with Jon, they could have just brought up his lineage and we would have been like, well, he is technically in line from the throne because the Mad King had it. That was supposed to go to Rhaegar, but Rhaegar died, and so it would go to his firstborn son or his oldest son, which was Jon, right? I hate that the council scene just sort of ignored that and didn't address that, because I feel like if someone said that, if Sansa and Arya said that to Tyrion and Grey Worm, I feel like Grey Worm might accept that because he would be like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. I hate what I have to do, but that makes sense. They would still be rioting in the streets, there would still be all of that, but I think there was a different way they could have wrote themselves out of that. But obviously, if they chose to do that, then that would make Jon the king, which obviously that goes against Jon's character, right? That's why I think they should have touched on this a little bit more, and I think they should have talked about why Jon doesn't want to be Aegon. It was very dissatisfying in that he never ever said, no, I am not Aegon Targaryen. He just sort of accepted it, but he still went by Jon and just ignored everything for the rest of the series. Like, there was no clarification on that. I still don't know how he really feels about it. How does he feel that Rhaegar's his father, that he's actually a Targaryen? We barely got anything of him this season. I actually think that's a big complaint with Jon, is that he was essentially the side character. Like, he was overall a very important character in this overall story over the last 8 seasons, and he will be a legend for centuries to come. But I mean, his ending was very, first of all, it's very George R.R. Martin-y. That's why I don't think the writers, I think that's why I like this ending, is because they had nothing to do with it really. It was a George R. R. Martin thing. But that's why I think D&D messed up Jon's Aegon Targaryen arc, because they just didn't know what to do with it really. Like, they knew that he was going to be Aegon Targaryen, but how does he get from finding that out to the point where he ends up going like up north after he kills Dany? I feel like they just sort of ignored that. Again, it all comes down to this season, or the last 2 seasons, were just very, very rushed. Because realistically, think about it, like, what else could they have done with Jon Snow's character? I didn't want him on the throne. As much as I did want him on the throne, I knew that there was going to be something else to it. It was never going to be so exact, like, he is on the throne, he is Aegon Targaryen, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, because Jon Snow isn't that person. And for me to accept that he would be on the throne would mean that I would literally be okay with Jon being a different character than he was. I just wasn't okay with that. Overall, I'm okay with what they did. I really just wish that the Aegon Targaryen stuff mattered more. It just didn't. All the prophecy stuff didn't matter. I know George R. R. Martin has mentioned a lot, like, don't really believe into a lot of the prophecy things, but like, none of it overall really mattered, so I'm kind of annoyed with that. I like where Jon's story ended up. I like what happened for Jon Snow. Again, Aegon Targaryen could have been done better. I put your thoughts down below. Do you think Jon's ending was satisfying? Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.